This oh yeah, there was another clip I wanted you guys to take a look at. It was really interesting. It was on VTuber managers. Oh no, it was on why corpos fail. But it talked about managers, I think. Very insightful stuff.
Why do VTuber companies fall? I have to answer this in two parts because the reason why a small startup corpo falls is different from why a big established company would fall. Small companies first. Plenty of scandals to point to. I don't really think those need to be explained in depth. Other YouTube channels have that covered. Instead, let's talk about managers. No one ever seems to talk about how hard it is to recruit and train people to do the behind the scenes work at a VTuber company. A good manager needs years of well-developed soft skills to keep their assigned talent from being overwhelmed with busy work. Being overwhelmed leads to burnout and everything that entails. And the best managers should also have a keen entertainer's sense. They should watch a talent's streams and can offer direct feedback on how to improve.
The keen entertainer sense part is extremely hard to come across. Finding people that understand the algorithm, that understand what works and stuff like that is extremely difficult. And especially you need to find other people that have like a similar vision than you. As for the manager part, I don't doubt it. I think most managers are probably just entirely formed by those companies and have no prior experience really, aside from being in the community a little bit.
Choice, short form video ideas, collab opportunities. I actually think that my editor Akashi would be a top tier corpo manager because he does all that and more, and it's hard to find people that can do that. In the West,
and if you're an editor that is really good with understanding what works, then you can become a channel manager. And there's some editors to some like that literally are like streamers and content creators, like content manager. Like they tell them what to stream, what they should react to. Yo, this is a hot topic right now. You need to fucking stream this. And they get paid a shit ton of money to run these channels because those people are so rare.
Western entertainment industry, talent managers like this get paid $90,000 to $100,000 salaries, at least. I'm guessing that in VTuber corpos, both big and small, talent managers are offered a third of that at best. What this means is that most
So $30,000 for a VTuber manager, that's very little to deal with a lot of bullshit. And then what probably happens is once they gain enough experience, or the good ones, then they're going to just leave and go to Hollywood or go manage like real talents where they can get like a full wage, $100,000. That's not money to scoff at.
If not all of these managers are coming in with zero experience. They have to learn as they go in the most extreme sink or swim environment, and it should be to no surprise that they often end up sinking. A failure to nurture and support talent, which is the manager's job, is the #1 reason why a small up-and-coming VTuber agency fails. The VTuber makes the company, not the other way around. Aside from that, I think that a new VTuber company's success is a race against time to gain traction before the talents lose hope. Even with a decent viewership of a couple hundred live viewers, a small corpo VTuber is probably not making a living wage after the company takes its split. On top of that, being a streamer in general does often feel—
You know what? I don't doubt that. I've always wondered if they were okay. Because having just somebody take like half of your revenue and you're already like barely getting by, like, okay, don't get me wrong, having a couple hundred viewers is really good. And I mean, I'm sure there's some like people that have like a couple hundred viewers that do really well, even financially. It depends on what kind of viewers you have. Probably like the ones that have the more parasocial audience probably do extremely well. But that all gets shaken up once, you know, there's an agency involved and you gotta pay their cut too. Yeah, it's gotta be done as a part-time job. And the thing is, what makes it worth it for the talents to stay, you know?
Like a pure gamble on the YouTube or TikTok algorithm. Put the two together, you're not making enough money to eat or pay your internet bill without help from your family, and your only shot at making your current gig work out is through sheer luck. This is my personal opinion. The minimum bar that a VTuber company should offer to a prospective talent is the ability to become a full-time streamer right out the gate. If not with a large established fan base, a salary or a stipend. If this is not something that the company can offer, there's very little reason for the VTuber to not just be an indie.
Yeah, but the company is to be making more money to compensate for that salary, or the company will just go bust in a couple of years too.
Especially when there are so many good free models available on Boot. Kind of amazing ones too.
I have a full-time job, but the part-time stream can't squeeze that in unless I'm bored, until like luck-based. I don't know how people who have full-time jobs get to do the content creator things on top of it. I would not be able to. I don't think I'd be able to. Do you guys know False ID has like a day job? That's insane to me. How does he do it? I think like if you're a freelancer and your work is seasonal or contract based, then it's great. It's great for you. Yeah, Bonnie from Globia and Alicia also work jobs, I believe. Yeah, that's very possible. Many jobs now force you to work over 8 hours a day, and to the weekends I would be too tired. Yeah. So I mean, and they're very energetic when they're on their stream. Props to them.
Okay, big corpos. Everything I said about small corpos applies to the big ones too, but there are challenges that the largest companies face that the small ones do not.
Oh, like what?
So I'm just gonna focus on that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of a single large VTuber company that's gone out of business yet. I suppose whoever was managing Kizuna eye counts, but if I recall, her IP was sold and shuffled around to multiple sketchy companies over a 3-year period. So that situation probably doesn't count as a large VTuber company as we understand it today. Because there's no real concrete examples, we're gonna do some theory crafting. Let's jump in, huh? I could think of 2 ways that a big corpo would fall. I'll start with the boring way first. Big, successful businesses making tons of money can still go bankrupt. If you're spending more money than you make, it's not sustainable, and it will end at some point if nothing changes. It happens all the time. The VTuber company could have a lot of full-time staff on payroll. They could be investing a lot of their money into expensive projects, stuff like that. Listen, it's good to invest money back into the company, to work on new projects that could pay off big. But in the meanwhile, bills still have to get paid. That gap means that a big corpo needs to push increasingly creative or invasive ways to increase revenue. Going down this path also means that only streaming is no longer an option. The company has gambled its future on the development of a new product that is equally profitable or even more profitable than their VTubers. The other, more dramatic way a big VTuber company can fall.
Wait, but what would be this other big product? Like the metaverse? The metaverse cover Corp is doing? Buy a stereot? I mean, at one point, you gotta cut costs and stuff, but what's the other side of it? Everybody that works at your company loses their job or don't get paid. The worst case could be that you owe them, weeks of salaries and stuff, or you owe artists money and you just decide to go bankrupt. And then you don't have to reimburse any of them. And that sucks when that happened. That happened to me once. I was hired. They gave me a spending stipend. I had to buy stuff for them, not for me. I bought stuff for them off my own money because I fronted the money, and then they went bankrupt. And it was a very big company too. So I lost all that and I couldn't reclaim it. It was so annoying.
Starts with a question. What or where do you think the value of a VTuber company lies? They don't really own anything, right? They don't really produce a product in-house, at least. They usually outsource their merch projects. It's the brand, right? But what the heck is a brand anyway? The brand of a VTuber company is, in my opinion, the amount of trust that its fan base puts in whatever the company is cooking up. Think about that for a moment. You're probably watching this video because you're a fan of some big VTuber company. You guys are what we're talking about when we're discussing a corpo's brand. You are what makes your favorite corpo valuable. So what makes a big VTuber company fall? Simple. Ask yourself, what could my favorite VTuber company do to lose my trust and support? The thing that you thought of just now is one part of the answer to that big question.
What word popped into your head when he said that? I had graduation pop up in my head. Scam. Crypto scam.
I have to tell you, I do not envy being the shot caller for these big VTuber companies. After a certain point, the fan base is so big that no matter what decision you make, someone is going to get pissed off and leave.
Yeah.
In this situation, if the company makes a move that loses it 1 million fans, that move better have at least made it 1 million new fans. If it didn't do that, it was a bad decision and it weakened the company's brand. And if it gained no new fans, well, I would call that a disaster. I'm not sure where the tipping point
We've had a few disasters this year.
is, but there are only a finite number of disasters that a corpo can take before its brand collapses. Without you guys, any company can and will fall. What do I know? I'm just an office orc.
You know what? He's really good at talking and structuring these videos. Bro, if I was as good as him at explaining concepts and as like entertaining when I spoke, I'd be fucking stupid broken. Imagine if my videos, essays were like that. Hey, you, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.